We're back at it. We are live, as we always are, on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. If you guys are new to the to watching us, please make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and make sure you hit the notification bell on the bottom because as you can see, we go live every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 6 o'clock p.m. Ronnie, he will not be with us today. He's out of town, but he will be back with us on here on Monday. So, like I said, he's gonna be missed, but he'll be right back here, right back here. So what's going on, Hakeem, man? How you doing, man? How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm living the dream. Living it, drinking it. You already know. What about
Hey,
you?
man, that's good to hear, man. Hey, I'm good, man. I'm great, man. I'm ready to rock and I'm ready to roll. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
All right, people. We're gonna jump into the topic. I found this is an interesting topic. Because this topic is going to be interesting because we hear this word a lot in in the spaces of YouTube, manosphere, womansphere, whatever, and and I feel like it's been overused. As you know, a lot of people like to use the word narcissistic. Not just on YouTube, but all over the world to describe people of relationships, men or women. To me, that's a word that's overused. But another word that we're going to talk about that I feel like is overused, as in I think it started really come out in 2020 like that, something like that, Hakeem, and that word is misogynistic. And what the word misogynistic is, I think a lot of people, especially women, they use that word a lot, and they really don't know what the definition of misogynistic means. They really, really don't. They just use the word thinking that they use it because they believe that the misogynistic word meaning that men are just better to women, which is not true, and that's not what the meaning is. And the meaning is, for misogynistic is, just to have hatred, and just hate women in general, be just showing the characteristics of hatred and being prejudiced against the women. And and I don't think a lot of people know that, especially women. They just use the word feeling like, if a man's is better at her as at a job or smart or something, they'll just blur out and say it. They'll just blur out and say it. So before we get to the, get on in, we got a couple of videos of showing like how some women, we ask the questions of women at what misogyny means, and they really don't know what it means. So we got two clips for you guys. After that, we're gonna rock and roll. Go ahead, Hakeem. It's good just hear me out. Shout out to you, man.
It was good just
Like you
hearing
see
me out.
here as always.
What's the meaning of misogyny?
When someone's it's something to do with men.
Huh?
It's something to do with men being like very a certain type of way towards women.
What type of way? I want to know what type of way.
Like when they're like not powerful, but like they treat them like they're nothing, and they're like that men are better than women.
I don't like him. He's an asshole. He's misogynistic. And I would never let a man control my life like that.
Alright, I just have to ask, do you know what misogyny means?
Yes, sweetie, I do.
Could you tell me the definition of misogynistic?
Misogynistic is when you're a man and you think everything you do is better for the benefit of a woman. You want to have me stay at home? I will do that for you, sweetie, but you're not going to control my ass.
With all due respect, that's not what misogyny means.
Okay, what's misogyny mean?
The definition of misogyny is basically somebody who's anti-women, who hates women.
Andrew Tate hates women.
But how do you know that though?
Because I know who Andrew Tate is.
Have you talked to him before?
Have you?
Actually, I have.
When?
I talked to his brother.
Oh, I talked to his brother.
No, I'm being serious.
Oh, you support him.
Why are you saying that?
Because I'm getting it from the questions that you're saying to me.
I like a lot of his views. I will say that.
Exactly. That's all we need to know.
So
this is why I don't talk to boys that look like you. Thank you.
that look like me.
See, that's a straight up diss. When when a person like somebody views, she will like they go, oh, he must be. If he listen to him, he must be misogynistic, which is not the case. People get to diversify. So people like some of the views, might not like the actual person, but might like the views. For me, some people this thing with Donald Trump. A lot of people don't like him, but there's some stuff, some views that I like, and a lot of people have seen that during his presidency. Now that a lot of people want to see him back in the presidency, as you can see in Atlanta, he had turned himself in. Now he's back out and everything. So people in general, like, people can't split it. Some people like some of their views, and you can say, hey, but I don't disagree with some things as well. So I'm pass it up to you, Hakeem. Do you feel like in these spaces or outside, in the world, that the word misogynist is overused?
Oh, 100%. I just think that where they're in I think that fully people don't understand the definition of it, and it's just a talking point like narcissist. Everything is narcissistic now. Everything is narcissistic. Everything is misogyny. You might say that, hey, I don't think you should do that. No, you're being misogynist. Hey, your hair is blue. No, you're being misogynist. Why are you dressing like this? No, you're being misogynist. I think that when you weaponize something for so long, people start to actually look at it and encompass that in their reality, when really was not them. And all you do is make somebody have a sense of hatred. You know what I mean? To be like, oh, you know what I mean? They talking ish, and I don't want to deal with that. But then I'm saying to myself, like, what is misogyny? If you supposed to hate women, if you hate women, then you won't have a woman around you. But how you misogyny if you love your mother, your sister, and you do whatever they say, you want to do whatever for your wife. So I just think it's a word that's just thrown around when people get mad.
Here on that. Oh, Sherry Brown. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Appreciate you. We appreciate you. Appreciate you as
Queen,
always.
Queen, shout out to you and Sky.
Yes.
And listen, I don't want to forget about the other Bryant kid, the two of the Wiz kids. I don't know the other kid name, but shout outs to both of them. Your mother loves you. She been shouting you out. We want y'all to win. And shout out to you, Mom. You a beautiful woman. You know what I'm saying? Gorilla Black is lucky. Black is lucky though. Black is lucky.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. For me, the word misogynist, I concur with you, Hakeem. I think it is overused, overused, and to me, they just use the words to just tear the man down. Tear the man down. Kind of emasculate him in a way, and tear him down emotionally and spiritually. And the thing is like the word, to me, the word got popular like in 2020. When the red pill was starting to pop up and everything. And red pills how use misogynist, and then women's like, oh, they started listening to hearing it now. It's like, oh, you're saying this, to the big to the at the time, Rollo Tomasi, Kevin Samuels, Fresh Fit at the time. And they was trying to explain to what misogyny really, really is. But now, as we show those two videos, a lot of people, a lot of women, and some men as well. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of women and some men, they use the word and not know what the word means. I remember, what's his name? Piers Morgan. He did an interview. I can't remember. It was just Pearly Thing. I think it was just Pearly Thing or somebody else. No. It was Andrew Tate. He had Andrew Tate on. And Andrew Tate, he was on there, at the time when he got out, I think he was off of house arrest, and Piers Morgan brought him on to the show and everything, and he was playing his cases, and then also he was playing his views about women, and some views, I kind of agree with it, some I don't, but but the thing with Piers Morgan, he was just pushing heavily, like I said, of his, how you describing how women, of a woman, he was describing the misogyny. And how Andrew Tate was explaining that wasn't the case. It wasn't the case of how he was explaining it. He doesn't have a hatred for women or anything. And I just feel like this it's spread around over YouTube, and some of these big networks, not just here in America but also in London, they're just using the word of thinking that men can be misogynist by just not talk bad about a woman, but maybe critiquing a woman. It could be good critiques or having some type of criticism. And I feel like misogynist is going like, it's people think what misogynistic means, meaning you're criticizing women, which is not the case. Misogyny means, if you like to say, if you just fall out, just hate women. You don't like your mother, you don't like your sister, you don't like females around you, period. You just feel like, as a man, you're just the dominant one, and it should be no woman here, period. Just like the opposite of misogynist is misandrous,
Yep.
which means women hating men, and that word is not rarely used. And the thing is, a lot of people don't know what the word misandry is as well, or never heard of the word misandry, because misogynist is at the tier top, and they like to use it against men.
Now, you really said something that was very profound, because misandry doesn't get used because they say we run everything. We control everything. What is there for a woman to be misandrous? We call my oldest greatness. Young greatness. So
Sugar Bomb's in the building. She's in the building.
Whoa.
Appreciate you coming to Sugar, the queen.
The queen of misandry.
You got to say that because Ronnie's not here. Because Ronnie would have said that. Shout out to Sugar Bomb. Lotus in the building.
Lotus in the building glowing. Lotus in the building glowing. Now I want to say something. There's a difference between somebody being misogynistic and somebody being sexist. Now let's talk about. Now, if you want to say Andrew Tate is sexist, I can 100% agree with you. When he makes a statement that all women can't drive, that's sexist. When you could say I only want men airplane pilots, that's sexist as well. Some people have old, archaic ideas about women, and they still hold true to that, depending on the type of way you've been raised. You feel me? Now, mind you, for a lot of people who don't know this, Andrew Tate was raised by a single mother. How did he become so sexist and so sexist? If you was raised by
question, was his mother black or was
no?
he,
his mother's white. His dad is black.
White. His dad is black. Okay.
And he was raised in England. Let's just get that straight. He was raised in England, and raised in the United States, half and half. Misogynist is a synonym with sexist. It's right there in the dictionary. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Queen Sugar Bum. Just hear me out, right, Hakeem? But misogynistic seems like to be smarter term to use over sexist, so they use misogynistic. Yes, I think they use that because it's like you say, it's a more sexier word when you say that. Some people could just be dumb, and then why can't we base things on individuals to say that he's just a jackass? Now, here's the funny thing about Andrew Tate. He's very sexist on certain things, but he pays his mama bills every month. She flies in private jets. She doesn't work. He cuts a check for his sister. So what type of hatred or what type of idea that he gets about women has to come from him not having a man to teach him about women? And it's the true statement. Most of these guys who have these ideas, 9 out of 10 times, there was no real man around them. Now, that all depends if you have a strong woman there. But of course, my brother here, if you have a strong woman on your team or a strong woman as a mother, so for as like Sherry Bryant and a lot of other people, your kids ain't going to come out sexist.
I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
You say I'm not surprised.
Yo, Sugar, don't make me die here, man. Oh, my God. I know a guy who's like that due to the fact that he hates his mom. If I tag him, he will never be over. He will never be over. He will go off. Yes. Yes. Yes, let's be real about it. I don't know the statistics, but a lot of men who have issues with women, some tend to come from a house where there wasn't a strong man there to show him how to respect women. Gladly enough, a woman has a lot of job to be nurturing. To apply discipline is even harder too, depending on if you're multifaceted. Now check this out. Some men are lucky to grow up in a house full of women. So that tends to alleviate a lot of stress depending on how the woman is guiding him. I've seen good men come from a house full of girls, and house full of girls because they've seen the treatment that their mothers and sisters have gone. You feel me? And then oh, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, going back to what just him here said about, how he said misogynistic seems like a smart term and uses over sexist, which is true. And I think, a lot of people are trying to replace the word misogynist as sexist. They try to put the new definition of sexist and use misogynistic, which, if they do that, you're dumb. you know, because like I said, I don't feel like a lot of men are misogynistic. There's very few men that we know in spaces that we know in general that's misogynistic. Sexist wise, that's another story. That's a different story. There's a lot of men who, on these spaces, or you see out in the world, are can be very, very sexist, can be highly sexist. As in, men can do better things than a woman can, from you know, certain jobs, or to cooking or some sports, and just little things, certain things like that. And with that is, to me, that's with the sexist part, I think that we should be start using that more instead of misogynistic, because trying to switch the word sexist and misogynistic, and try to get a new meaning of it, and you look in the dictionary, it's different. It's very, very different. And to me, I don't like how we're using it more, because I feel like a lot of women it's gonna use with that word, or when they break up, how narcissist is the number one word, and then they're gonna start using, if that was the case, he was a narcissist and he was misogynistic. They're gonna start using that misogynistic word a lot after a relationship, if they see certain things about a man, which technically he might be sexist, but they're gonna replace the word by using misogynist or misogyny.
Jordan, did you see what Sugar Bum just wrote? For the love of Christ.
Oh yeah, I see.
She said sex is it just isn't gender specific. Sugar, are you on our side for a change? So saying that all men can't be nurses, that could be a sexist statement. And misogyny is just and misogynist is gender specific. Sugar sound like a professor today.
Facts.
Shout out to Nidish.
Pure facts.
Nidish, we love you, my brother. Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Nidish. Nidish in the building.
So she Sugar just clarified something for us that just is very, 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 very profound, and she said it in a simple way. Misogynist is gender specific, sexist is not. So you could be sexist on both ends. Saying men can't be loving and nurturing is a sexist statement. Saying women can't go work construction is a sexist statement. But saying if a man says that all women can't drive, that's sexist. But that doesn't mean he's misogynist. Now, if a man says that I don't want no woman around me, then we got to say you must be misogynist, my nigga.
Yeah, that's true. I don't want a woman around me, period. Or if a guy, or it could be sometimes, you can tell if, a guy's, he'll stay with his buddies, maybe his college buddies for a long, long time. And, and then he might be with a woman. He probably don't want a woman to move out from his buddy house and live with his woman, because there's some men that are like that.
Yeah.
And you can, I mean, it's not like a, kind of like a key thing to look at. But there are some times when it will show us right there if a man want to stay with his bros for a long time, and he doesn't want to move out because he like to stay with his bros, and he don't he has a girl and the girl's trying to get him to move out, moving with him. There might be a key element right there.
No, definitely. But I also think that having healthy conversations to try to understand where a person is coming from before we put a blanket statement on them. And this is what I try to tell people as far as dealing with women, as far as dealing with women and making statements about women. You got to be careful if you don't understand that from 100%. I can't come here and say that, which is a blanket statement, which we hear people say that all the black women in the ghettos are baby mamas. That's a sexist statement. Very sexist statement. But I haven't dated all the black women and the black women in the ghettos. How would I know? But you got guys who feel they can speak on topics that they have none business with.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's because I see that as a regular stereotype as in a black chick in the hood.
Basically, you know what I mean? All black women are not good mothers, or all women who are single mothers can't be good wives. That's a very sexist statement, and it can also kind of lead into bigotry a little bit. You know what I mean? So when you do not know that, you know what I mean? So it has to be healthy, but social media has allowed a lot of different people to have voices for some of the right reasons and for some of the wrong reasons. But we thrive off of negativity, dysfunctionality, and this is why we're here to this point where we having these constant conversations and there's a divide between men and women and we can't get it right. Oh, I don't like these dudes. All these dudes, and here's the thing. When you say all black men are cheaters, that's a sexist statement. And it make you seem like a bigot.
That's true. And the thing is, with a man, what they like to use instead, especially for black women, as it went on before will get married, they highlight it, as well. It's like as seeing us say, see, hey, it's not it's not us, it's y'all. But the thing is, it's not just the women, it's us too. We just gotta find a solution to fix it, to fix that and everything. Because if there's one out of 4 that our black women are not married, that doesn't mean they think black men are misogynist or narcissists and anything. It's just that there's a problem that needs to be fixed. Either you see a woman that has kids or no kids. How do we fix that? How do we fix that situation? Period. Instead of arguing with each other, talk about sexist, it's basically sexist things. Not being misogynistic or misandrous, but just being sexist to one each another as well.
And we have to have a clear definition of that. And this is why I employ the women to ask questions. You have a right to ask men questions to see where their mind's at, to make sure that they're not misconstrued. Because sometimes when a person say a statement about a woman, it can get very emotional. And I can understand that because women are constantly being attacked online from all fronts. I could say Lotus, Sherry Bryant, and whatchamacallit are beautiful black women. That's not a sexist statement. That's me brown nosing. You know what I mean? But I can't say that about Sugar Bum. I say she's a thumbnail.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
But Sugar is cool with it.
She's cool with it.
She's cool with it, right?
But we have to understand what is misogynistic. Like what? And I would love for you ladies in the comments to say what you deem misogynistic, if that might lead into sexism, or if that might say that he's he's what I'm saying, or you might just say him.
Yeah. And like I said, do you know anybody in this space that's maybe not be misogynist as in all women, but they could be misogynist as in a group of women. As in, go ahead.
No, you're right. I am afraid. we got to address what
Yeah, we
Sugar
go.
said.
Yeah, I don't know what she's
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about.
I'm
That.
afraid to watch, of course, Disney, because if I want to talk about it, I have any questions or critiques, I'll be called misogynistic and racist. That is true. Now that's a topic we're going to do too, about what is considered racist.
That's
You
true.
know what I mean? And
Mhm.
and can somebody from the other race talk about a topic? If we can critique a lot of things, we have to have this healthy discourse. Now, Sugar says, y'all have misogynistic talking points at times. At times.
And when I think about what it is, it was like with you, King, they probably think about the on-demand sex.
On demand.
Which is, to me, it's not misogynist at all.
It's
I
not.
don't think it is. I think that when people say, "Oh, on-demand sex," that's misogynistic. How is that hating on that's not hating on women to have on-demand sex. That's like, hey, I want to have, like I said, if my wife is free, she
Mhm.
not doing anything, why not?
She said, I don't discuss my business outside my house.
Mm.
I need a shirt and a book, size shirt small, definitely. We gonna fix that for you, Sherry Brian. And you're right, it's preference. Now, Sugar, I want you to tell me what points do we have that is misogynistic?
I want to know too.
Mm-hmm.
And not just for me and Hakeem, but also Ronnie as well. If he's
Also
saying
running too.
anything. Yeah.
We love black women here.
Yeah.
We think
Yeah.
y'all the smartest. Y'all get the most degrees. Is that sexist for me to say that? Black women get the most degrees?
No. It's a
Is it
fact.
sexist? Is it sexist for me to say black women are the pillars of our community?
It's a fact.
Mm-hmm. Black women are the most nurturing.
Mm-hmm.
Black women deal with a lot that we can't deal with. Meaning,
Mm-hmm.
meaning I don't go tell other races all my business. I'm confused. What you mean by that? What is misogynistic about that?
Right. And I was going to add to you, Hakeem, great black leaders had good black women on their side too.
Oh my God. You could say that. Everybody we could point that was a great leader had a woman be Martin Luther King,
Mm-hmm.
Malcolm X with Betty Shabazz.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Sherry Bryant. I love you, Sherry, because listen. We support y'all, and we want to put you up there. I want to see a black CEO woman, a woman as a mayor, a woman as a president.
Mm-hmm.
That's far from misogynistic. Because you want to know something? You
Consistent bastard.
you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
One thing about me and Jordan understand, and Jordan has done this repeatedly. He bigs his wife up, bigs her up. Tells us she's the most educated, she has the most degrees. You know what I mean? He supports her. He
A very smart. I want to add a very smart business mind as well. She's a very good businesswoman.
Oh, because she runs the what's that business? The dog walking business, right?
The dog board business on Broford. Yes.
And you said she was killing it. I didn't know that.
She still is. She's killing it so much, even though she's been unemployed for a couple months, that business has been going strong.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know, it might fluctuate, but how it's going and how she's doing, how's it looking? We don't know, maybe next year, but it's looking like if she stay on that, she'll need to find another job.
You see? But look how you big her up, but you're comfortable in yourself to say that your woman is a boss.
Right.
Is that misogynistic?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
Because I saw how she started, and it took her a while. At the time, she didn't want to do it, and I just, to see how it grow, year by year by year. Because today, will be year 3 of her business, and year 4, I told her this. It might not happen. I told her this. I said by year 4, she'll probably watch somebody's a celebrity dog.
Okay. Yeah.
I told her that it might happen.
No, I believe you see, but you bigging her up. Now let's address these two statements. And Sherry Bryan said, "That's awesome. Salute your queen." Definitely. But hold on, Sherry, we gotta salute you. Black woman raising her kids, straight A students, and she's an engineer.
Oh, absolutely.
And,
Yes.
and we gotta salute Sugar Bum. She's a nurse from DC. She works in a hospital. We gotta salute Jess J for being a great mother, raising her kids. We gotta salute Lotus. We gotta salute Natasha Vincent. We gotta salute all the women. Now, mind you,
Black Beauty.
Black Beauty.
Oh, and also one more. Go ahead. My mind's blank.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. So look, she say I would probably say that they're pushing women to get married is misogyny. You don't have to get them a chance to decide without indoctrination. Okay. And I want the second statement. And Jordan, I want you to answer these two statements before I say. And she say, and then there's a need to know all a woman's business is misogyny. Some things are private. Yo, Sugar, you said you was a nurse in here one time in the live. That's where I got that from.
Exactly. Unless you're not. Unless you BSing.
Okay. Before I want to read this, because this is funny. If a man has to pick between two women to sleep with, and then he picks the woman over the man out of the two, does that make him sexy? Listen, that's a funny.
Right.
But
Exactly. But like I say, it could be a practice. He's probably not he's probably be a heterosexual. He's not homosexual.
You see what I'm saying? But he say if a man has to be too,
You say you never said that, Sugar? Okay.
You said that in the live. So what?
I remember, but I remember she was saying it. You were saying it, but okay.
Yeah. So where do you work so we can praise you? She say, I got a CNA in high school working at a nursing home 2 weeks barely. Okay, so what do you do for work now? So we can praise you. Right. Now, but here's the thing. Sugar, you want to know why we push marriage here? And I don't think that's a misogynistic statement because we push marriage for men and women. He's married. I don't think it's misogynistic to want everybody married. We all know if a woman or a man is not married, they lose in the relationship. Men and women lose if they don't get married. Especially a woman who devotes her time, effort, body to a man. If something happens to him, she should be able to be compensated. And I mean that very seriously because I've seen horror stories of women having 2 to 3 kids, spending their life with men, not being married, and their social security checks go to their mama. Mm-hmm. It says, okay, listen, just hear me out. This is why we need you here, because he's a married person. He said, marriage is the foundation of a successful society, which is why everyone should encourage marriage.
Yeah.
She said, I got the CNA in high school, work at a nursing home, 2 weeks barely.
Oh, sure. I put that down.
You already wrote that. So what do you do now? What do you do for work now, Sugar Bum? But I want to talk about that. Marriage is a foundation for a successful society. And just hear me out. Listen here. Let's talk about this. Marriage, listen, a lot of people also want to talk about building wealth. The transfer of wealth, that's through marriage. Mm-hmm. That's through marriage. When you hear about the Vanderbilts, the Miniachis, and all these people, the Rockefellers, a lot of that wealth get passed down through marriage. Mm-hmm. The Kennedys and stuff like that, family of dynasties, and other people are marrying into the family, that's through marriage. Mm-hmm. A woman doesn't have to get married. That is your business, sugar.
Same thing as a man.
It, it, um, we're going to have 50 years of all these single people getting older and older, filling up the clubs and embarrassing themselves. Damn, that was a tough ass statement.
That's good because you see a lot
Wow.
because there's a lot of women. I see a lot of women. Usually women start going to clubs and they like I know maybe the 90s and Tulsa, women they start going to the club and they in their 30s, 35s. Now you see women in their 40s and 50s in the clubs and having a good
Just hear me out. That was a tough statement, bro.
time. I mean, I don't mind, if, a woman like 40, 50 going to a once in a while, but if you go into like every other week or every week, that's crazy.
Listen,
As me, as like I said, I know, I know me and my wife was in Miami. We was having a good time, but once we moved out here in LA, we're married and in our 30s. We don't think about going to clubs no more.
no, listen. When you find you
Barely.
one, yeah. When you find you one person, y'all just get ready to start cruising and enjoying you the rest of your life.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And listen here, sugar bump, 51% is a failure rate, and I agree with you.
Yeah, and we need to change it.
She said, we live in a patriarchal society embodied in our system. Lotus, I'm gonna have to disagree with you. I'm gonna have to disagree with you. What patriarchy are you talking about? If there's a blanket statement, they said that women run the households. There's no men there, right? So I say this: for certain households that being raised with a mix of a patriarchy and a matriarchy, I don't think this is a patriarch society. If the statistics tell you this, if men are not in the house and there's a sin, how is a patriarch society? Who runs it? I know I don't control nobody. Lotus, I do understand where you're coming from, but who runs the society? You feel where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
If they said there's no men in the household, how is a patriarch society? When women pay the bills, they get the degrees, they running this and they doing this. Most definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Most definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, we just want most politicians are male. Okay, yes they are. Yes they are. Most politicians
Sure.
are male. But how many, and listen here, how many more women are running to go to office? You got to understand, it's all about based on choices, what you want to run.
Right.
You know what I mean? Most men are truck drivers. Most men
Yeah.
are sewer workers. Is that sexist? Is that a patriarch society? Is that
Or construction workers. Yeah.
construction work? Most men are construction workers. Most women are nurses. Most women are teachers. If we start putting up, most men are garbage men. Most men are electricians.
Yeah. Or
Most
plumbers.
or plumbers. Most women work at daycares.
Most women work are bartenders or hosts or hostess. So
Oh, okay. I got one. I got a good one for you. Most women on TikTok sell body butters and eyeliners and eye care.
mhm.
Isn't that sex? I don't see no men selling eyeliners and eye care.
And then most women makes more money on social media than the men do, and that's facts.
He says, so how many male politicians make the fact that they are male one of the top reasons they should be elected? If more women run, I would elect a woman. So
Exactly.
what they still elect men to make laws. Okay. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. If I mean, it's for like me, if you're a politician, if you sound good, you try to help us like if you try to help us out in the community in a way, if I like you, man or woman, that's cool. Here in LA, we had running for mayor. It was Karen Bass, and it was it Rick Caruso, and and to me, I kind of like what Karen Bass had, was going to do a little bit more community and a little bit of South Central than Rick Caruso was going to do here in LA. And so me, to me, the better choice was Karen Bass. And now, right now, she's a mayor of LA still. So and right now, she's doing a pretty good job.
So look at this. The mayor of Miami is a woman. The mayor of Miami-Dade County, the whole county, is a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Her name is Daniela. She's from New York.
Mm-hmm. And you see, there's a lot of rise of women who's in these major cities are running for mayor.
Yeah.
Mayor of Atlanta, what was her name? Before she stepped down.
Oh, Keisha Bottom or something like
Keisha Bottom, yeah.
Yeah.
And then also the Chicago mayor, what's her name? Well, she was the mayor of Chicago. The
black,
the bisexual, the black.
Yeah.
I gotta find her name.
So that's why we have to look to say the misogyny is indoctrinated in the laws, like the racism. Okay, I'm not going to disagree with you on
Lori Lightfoot from Chicago.
Yeah, Louis Lightfoot.
Yep.
The laws is governing the land. Yes, but here's the thing: if more women were interested in running for office, they'll win. There's a lot of women mayors all over the United States, and a lot of women
governors.
Yeah, governors.
Yeah.
So that's why I say I don't know, like, you know what I mean. That's why I say we need to start to be careful in saying that certain things are ingrained in society. There's certain elements that might be ingrained, like I'm not gonna lie to you about that. The law they passed about reproductive rights and stopping somebody from having an abortion. I can agree with you on that. Am I wrong?
Yeah, we talked about that last year.
We talked about that last year. We didn't disagree. That could be holding one on that. Lotus, I love this statement. She said, I'm speaking on a micro level, such as corporations and government. Okay. But we just talked about it. Lotus, there's certain city, and I get where you're coming from.
Yeah,
now,
for sure.
Now that I'm not going to say you're not right. Let's say if there's certain towns and cities in America, yes, it might be dominated by men. But if we're talking about certain major cities or certain like that, women have made many strides. Now,
Absolutely.
As far as corporations,
and one as well,
and one, yes, as far as corporations and stuff like that. Depending on who the corporation is, do you think that it matters that a woman should? So it doesn't matter that a woman should be the CEO of Bud Light or Anheuser-Busch. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Is that going to change or be productive of anything? You know what I mean?
Or if you look at the private sector of sports entertainment, you look at basketball, look at the Los Angeles Lakers owner Jeannie Buss, her father Jerry Buss, Dr. Jerry Buss. Before he died, he passed. He had her and he had 3 other sons, and he wrote in his will, it's like once I pass away, I want Jeannie Buss to carry the team. The reason she picked Jeannie Buss to run over the team because of all the brothers, he felt like she was the best fit to run the organization. And now, once she passed, and she did a good job. The Lakers are still winning it, and the Lakers have won a championship back in 2020. And I got another example. Let's talk about football. My team, Detroit Lions, is run by Sheila Ford. Before that, it was run by her mother. Martha Ford was in her 90s. She relinquished her. She gave it to her daughter, and now once Sherry, I'm not Sherry. Sheila Hemp got the football team 3 years ago. She started clicking. She started growing. She started hiring people, and right now, as a Lions fan, I'm very, very excited. As not for the team, but as her as an owner, how she's changing the culture of the Detroit Lions fans. So there's a lot of women out there, black or white, that are, like I said, in governments, politicians, or private companies that you might not see or hear. They're doing the job, and I like to I like them how the good job they're doing.
Jenny Durkin was able to accelerate the descent in Seattle to hell much more effectively than Ed Murray before resigning. She actually succeeded land to criminals with chops. Now, I wanna ask a question to Sherry Bryant, and I want Lotus to understand. I'm the lead engineer, and some men hate it. Now, I want to ask Sherry Bryant this. Sherry, you was interested in engineering. Your work got you to where you got because you was interested. Why is it that more women are interested in STEM? If they were, we probably see an overwhelming majority of them leading roles. Some people forget there's one of the most leading women in investment banking. She has her own fund. And if we're talking about there's an unequal value as far as women in certain positions than men is, I personally say, I don't know, I'm not in all the companies, but I personally say it's an interest level. Are you interested to go in there?
Right.
And then and then let's be something, let's talk about something serious. This is something I can't speak about, but I could just bring it up, which a lot of y'all can maybe validate here. You know, a lot of reasons why a lot of women are not in certain places. Y'all take the serious task of being mothers and having a family. It's a sacrifice y'all make that we can't even understand. For you to want to have a family, you give up your careers. Some people who have a husband or a partner that's willing to work with them are able to work that, but it's a very big sacrifice. The long hours you're not able to work, the long team meetings you're not able to meet, you having to go make sure your kid is okay. A lot of y'all don't have a support system. So I can understand, like, let's talk about, you might not be able to get that kind of job you want.
Mhm.
So it's a multi-layered thing.
And also the handle the stress level. A lot of women don't gonna take these certain jobs because of the stress level.
Mm-hmm.
Stress level could be high these top positions, and when some women get to it, they be like, oh wow, it feels like there's a weight on their shoulders. Like I didn't like something I never experienced and everything. So there's sometimes it could be the stress level. How to you might be paying a lot of money, but the stress level could be very extreme. Which it could give you migraines, and it could cost you long term health problems as well.
Sherry Bryan says some women are become intimidating. That's a true statement. To get up to that level and to deal with that stress, um, I go for what I want, and I have worked too hard to be successful. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
You know what I mean? You sound, that's the conversations we having, and this is the type of ingenuity and ambition that'll lead her into becoming the CEO of the company.
That's right.
You know, when I was critical of Ed Murray, it causes its causes I was homophobic, but when I criticized Jenny Dirt, I was homophobic and misogynistic. 2 for 1.
2 to 1.
Disagreeing with somebody can be considered misogynistic.
Which I don't know why.
Listen.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Listen, Sugar Bum said we had misogynistic talking points because we wanted women to get married. We advocated for women to get married. We advocated for men to get married as well, but she said that was misogynistic. Wouldn't me saying that women, wouldn't being misogynistic for me would say that women don't deserve to be married?
Yeah,
Wouldn't that be?
That's bad, and a lot of men say that.
A lot of men say that.
Especially the single mothers.
Thank you, Kenny. Ken Dog said this. It just gets taken out of context.
Facts.
A lot of things get taken out of context, and I want this to be publicly clear. I'm not going
to.
Yeah. Men can be very cruel. I've heard it all. You know the famous line, I must have slept my way to the top. That is a fact.
Yep.
That is a fact. What you said right there, Sherry, is a fact. And I know people might feel disrespected that you're where you at. What is she doing up there? She just put in her work.
Yeah. The resume speaks for itself.
Basically,
The years of grinding speaks for itself.
she know code a little bit better than y'all.
There you go.
Python, HTML, C, C++, Kotlin,
She probably put in a little bit, maybe the extra hours than most men would do.
basically, and still listen, and still have to come home and to be a mother. That's her second job. She can't go to sleep until the homework is done and the food is made. And let's not say she got her dude in the crib after she feed them. She got to go feed them and still have to be the lead engineer.
Mm-hmm.
Some women will be like, I can't work all of that. I'm gonna just settle to just be a wife. You got a lot of women who walked away from positions like that.
Yeah.
If they didn't have a supporting man on their team.
Right. That just tells you, like, in that household, it's good. It's nice and peaceful in there. It's peaceful in that household.
So and look at this. I want to use you for an example. You supporting your wife to want to be ambitious in her entrepreneurial nature. You supporting her, allowing her to go that route.
Yeah.
Is that misogynistic? Or is that a man who puts his woman first and who supports her?
Absolutely. Because like I said, when she talked about it, big cities, especially here in LA, it's, everybody had dogs. So if she wanted to get into that market, I was like, okay, I knew she was going to, get it done because, how my wife, how her personality is, how she talks to people, how she likes cats and dogs and, animals and everything. So to me, that was like, okay, my wife, she can do this. It'll be easy. And now, right now, she's doing the thing right
now. Listen, look what, just hear me out say, oh, so Jordan thinks his wife needs to succeed. Listen, just hear me out. Just a couple months ago, had an anniversary. Showed a video of his beautiful wife and his beautiful marriage. Is that misogynistic? Mm-hmm. Is that sexist of him to show his wife how beautiful she is and the years of marriage they've been together? So we need to. Shout out to
Gore. It, Gore. She made it, Gore. Appreciate you, buddy. You made it, though. You made it.
You know what I mean? Gore. Gore, are you married?
Yeah, he's married. I believe so.
He's married. We know what the truth is. We know we can't make it without y'all. The woman. I'll be a fool to say that I don't need a woman. Listen. As of today, I'm a chicken with his head cut off since I'm not married. I'm disorganized. I don't know if I'm going left, right, south, east. But is that misogynistic or sexist for me to say I need to be married?
And I say this, and I think without my wife, if I ain't have my wife here in the cafe, I don't think we would do what we're doing right now. And that's a fact. And I'm like I said, my wife, she believed in the process of here in LA. And hey, we doing it. It's all gonna get back.
Look what it says. I was turning her into an object, reducing her value by describing her beauty. Misogynistic. Like, let's talk about it. I took on a project. They failed 6 years in a row, done by nothing but men. I wanted a shot at it. I got it, and I scored the highest in the district, 97 out of 100.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
I wonder, since you took the project, was that misogynist or was that sexist?
Right.
Since all men did it, but since a woman did it, she was able to do it. Was that sexist to think that all men was able to do the project?
There you go.
You see what I'm saying? And they didn't give a chance. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But congratulations to you. There's nuances to this. That's why I was like, conversations had to be had. We both need each other. Everybody got their roles and places that make some people do better than others in other things. Yeah, it was only men there.
Shout out to you, Gore. He said, "Women are great motivators. The things I would have done in 4 years, I did in 2." Yeah,
Let's talk about
I,
it.
I agree with that 10 times, folks. 10 times, folks.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, Gore. I'm the only woman.
They're great motivators and inspirational as well.
Listen, a strong woman to get you go get the bag. A strong woman to get
quickly. Do you think you can get it?
Listen,
you might think, like I said, of course, you might take you forward with that woman right side. You might get in it 2, maybe even 1 year.
Luke would just hit me and say, "Oh, Gore, so you think they can only motivate? They can only do it themselves?" Misogynistic. He said, "Y'all better ask Gorilla for sure." Lotus said, especially working in corporate, Black women have to prove themselves beyond expectation to our peers. Microaggression, sexism, and racism we deal with daily. And I'm not saying that. You know what I mean? You have a unique experience, and we're not going to discount that. You feel me?
Yeah.
But the fact that you got there says a lot about your character, Lotus, that you must work your ass off to get there. I think in any levels, we're going to deal with some type of bullshit.
Yeah, and especially men, especially in our Black community, men or women. You could definitely see that.
He said, "This show might get canceled after today with all the hate."
He said, "What decade it says? Are we back in the 50s?"
50s. Misogynistic. Lotus, and you want to know something? I don't want to overlook what Lotus say, because I definitely understand that there are sectors of certain places that we all deal with some type of bullish. But
absolutely.
You know what I mean? I would never discount that, and I say that is a true statement. But I guess that the way we deal with that is with what we've been doing for the longest, putting people on notice and grinding.
And continue to show support.
Continue to show support. They can't stop you if you're working. They can't stop you. Regardless of how it goes, they can't stop you if you're working.
Yeah, especially if you're consistent. If they see the consistency, I mean, it's hard to not look for somebody else if they see somebody with a very, very consistency.
Yeah.
Because if you don't see that consistency, that to me, you're just hating. Or as in terms where he might, that guy might be misogynistic.
But Lotus, like, I definitely agree with you. I know you might be undermined at times, might be belittled, or might not think that's smart, but your work still keep you there and still keep you woman. I can only imagine, Sherry's in corporate America too. She's an engineer. So I could only imagine what mess she had to go through to become the lead engineer. Mm-hmm. And I can only imagine what you have to go to, or dealing with other women. And you know what I mean? That's another thing y'all don't talk about either. The competition amongst other women in corporate America.
And there was times, I remember one time with my wife, we moved to Miami to here in LA, when she transferred from jobs from Noble, the restaurant, from here to to Miami to the Noble here in LA. And the thing is, she when she got there, she was getting paid out of, as a line cook, she was getting, get paid the most out of any line cook. And a lot of people were saying, a lot of men was like, why she got paid more than us? What she got to do? And then she showed her skills.
Yeah.
A week later, they couldn't say nothing.
Definitely.
They had their mouth closed.
And let's also forget, she actually has a degree in culinary.
Yep.
A lot of people don't understand that too. If your wife came in there with education and skills, which we know most line cooks all are experience based. A lot of them didn't go to school with education, so she's going to get paid. You know what I mean? And he said, "Oh, trust me, they can do it." Corporate world is just very dumb. It's all a chess game, 100%. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to overlook your feelings and say that you're not warranted, because you're going to have some microaggression in there wherever you go, even microaggression in your own family and amongst your peer groups, and even amongst women who might have a misogynistic idea. You have some women who think that women should just be at home and cook and clean. They'll stop. You see what I'm saying? It's a lot of women who feel that like that.
Yeah.
Fortunately for me, our corporate HQ was 80% women in our leadership roles. So I just slept my way to the top.
Just hear me, y'all. He on it tonight, baby. He
You
is
own
on it
it.
tonight. He on it tonight.
You see, I'm firm but fair. And listen, you know what I'm saying? And let's be real about it. And we need to. There are going to be some instances where we have to judge people based on the individual. You could be nasty as a manager. Doesn't matter if you're a woman or you're white or black or you're Indian. Just the way how you operate with me would determine how you are as a person. But sometimes I think blanket statements is very damaging. And it's very, because this is why we're in a situation where it's hard for us to get along in certain things. Instead of having a conversation where this, but I have to go back to Lotus. Just hear me out. I was agreeing with Lotus. There are some people scattered throughout companies who make dumb decisions for personal reasons versus based on qualifications.
That is facts. And I see, and I used to work on them too. Back in my other company I used to work for, and that is facts.
I've been through a lot of this. I lived in Massachusetts. I worked for some Indians who I thought that, hey, they really didn't know what they was doing at times. I was like, what they got these guys here for?
Right.
But people said that, hey, why are you talking about them like that? I say, no, I'm dealing with these here. You making decisions that is disrespectful to me. But that's my personal experience that I had with these particular group of people who were Indians. And I can also say that you know what I mean? It's a mixed bag when it comes to manager. I had some good managers that were women. I had some bad managers that were women. I had some good managers that was men. I had some bad managers that was men.
Yeah. Same with me.
You know what I'm saying? But none of that makes it misogynistic if I say that women and men can be bad managers. Does that make me misogynistic and misandrous?
There you go. There you go.
Or how Moneybag say, I don't like men, I don't like women, I don't like nobody.
Yeah. So what did that make sense?
What did that make sense? Misogynistic Andrew? Like, come on, man. Like, let's be real about it. You know what I mean? And it's getting so bad that we can't have healthy conversations. Or we're scared to incorporate women in the fold with men, and women are scared to add men to certain aspect because we feel like the conversation is going to be unequal. We know we both need each other in very different aspects where your skill set are.
Mm-hmm.
Some women are great organizers. They balance the books. You know what I mean?
Hey, Sher, I got a question for you. Do any of your as you the lead, do any of your the workers give you praises or anything? I would like to know that.
We want to know that.
Yeah.
Same thing. And Lotus, same thing with you, Lotus. Where you work at, do they give you praises? Does anybody give you praises? Sherry, answer the same question.
Yeah. That's a question I would like to know.
You know?
Yeah.
So, we got to make sure that We know what we're doing.
He said, there goes Haki diminishing the achievement of women to become bad managers by pointing out men were bad managers first, misogynistic. He said man first.
Oh, Sherry Bryan said, she said, I was employee of the year.
Oh, there you go.
But listen here, you're in a company full of men. They should be misogynistic. Why did they make you know what I'm saying? Nepotism is still on the up and up, meaning everyone is out for themselves. It's a cold word. Okay,
Yeah, that's true.
that's true. But I'm just saying, particularly where you work at, have you gotten praise? Just like how she say, like, is there still somebody there who still acknowledge your work and your benefit, Lotus?
Mhm.
Because sometimes it could just be a bad manager, and
Yeah,
sometimes all it takes is one person to give you an opportunity.
yeah. Because I know if I see somebody at work, if they're either they're by themselves and they got call outs, or if I see something they do a phenomenal job out of something, I make sure I give it praise because, like I said, because there's a lot of people who works, just there for the money, and just to get there because just for the money. But a lot of people there who that you work with, that they enjoy what they do and everything. And to me, that people that works at a certain position or anywhere they like what they do, I make sure I give praise because some people they do it because they're happy about it and have joy of the job they do.
Um, just hear me. I say I was never employed because I was an a-hole when it came to dealing with idiots. I'm the same way. I tell you a funny story. I used to work for AutoZone,
Mhm.
and I had a woman manager. The guys at the job say you be brown nosing too much because you do whatever she say. I say I didn't. I said I thought she was the manager. I said I thought she was the manager.
Okay, so what does it make the other employees misogynistic?
Yeah, I told them we was going to implode, and they said I was being hyperbolic. Some people just don't like honest people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I judge people based on individual. Like if I run into you and you show me who you are, that's how I'm gonna judge you. I don't make blanket statements unless if I see a group of idiots doing the same thing. Then I can say, look at those idiots over there.
Facts. If you're not doing the job correctly.
Come on, man.
Yeah. So yeah, people. So we did a little overtime for you guys. Just wanted that you will. Just want to give a little more time in with you guys. Chat with you guys a little bit. Any final thoughts for you, Hakeem, before we close it up?
Um, I support. I love. Well, let's read this. She says, yes, they do, but I feel it's backhanded. It's all a competition currently. I have had some genuine positive experience in the past. Definitely. The love, they love me because I exemplify what I expect. Most definitely. And I just want to applaud you women. Applaud you. Because I know it's tough and I want to applaud the men. But I want to applaud all y'all. Because I know every day y'all go out here and work, y'all have to deal with everything. And I know everything is experience. And we're big supporters here. We don't want to see everybody exceed, especially women, and acknowledge that y'all go through something difficult and know that it doesn't have to. That's why we employed y'all to. We employ women to be engineers and CEOs and stuff like that, just to let you know that.
Well, for me, go back to the title of always using the word misogynistics. I just feel like people need to learn the definition of misogynistics, meaning that all men do not hate women. Majority of they do respect women, but someone be sexist? Yeah, for sure. And then we also have certain sexist things you're gonna say about each other. But at the end of the day, with misogyny, which be men being misogyny, especially in our country in America, there's very few people that I know that I've seen seeing outside of the world, seeing the spaces that men are, misogynist. generally they're not misogynistic. They really like and appreciate women. They love women, and they like to work with women as well, for sure. But yeah, guys. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate you so much. Shout out to Sherry Bryan. Shout out to Sky. Shout out to Just Hear Me Out. Shout out to Lotus. Shout out to Ken Dog. Shout out to Gore. Who else was in here? Shout
Young
out to
Greatness.
Young Greatness. Who else? Sugar
Lotus.
Bomb, the Queen Sugar Bomb as our thumbnail. We appreciate her.
My thumbnail. Listen, my
Urban
CNA.
Noise.
Sugar Bomb the CNA.
Yeah. Urban Noise. Anybody on Instagram, Hakeem?
No.
Yeah, but shout out to everybody who's watching on Facebook. Shout out to everybody who's watching on the Twitch. We appreciate you guys. As it is, as you guys know, we go live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 o'clock p.m. And also, not just that, we do have videos that we show during a daily basis. If you guys want to see, make sure you show support on that and make sure you hit the like button. And like I said, Ronnie, he's off today. Back on Monday, we'll be rock and rolling. And before we go, you guys going into the community tab. We got the Chaos Coast Radio t-shirt, and we got Hakeem's book Black Love. We appreciate you guys buying the merch. Appreciate you watching this, guys, because as you can see, we're over 700 subscribers. That means we're almost there to 1,000 subscribers.
And I'm gonna be honest, they're the ones doing the work. Him and Roni. Does that make that misogynistic? Roni and them do the work. And listen, thanks to Just Hear Me Out, and there's a lot of women in the comments. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We love y'all. We can't do nothing without y'all. I want everybody to know, Gore, Lotus, Sky, I appreciate y'all every day for just coming here and listen to a couple fellas talk shit.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate you guys so much. And we also appreciate you guys if you guys hit the share button, sharing it out too, sharing our content. Yeah. Oh yeah, shout out to Just Shay. I want to forget about her. Shout out to Just Shay. She was in here this work.
Our New Mexico queen.
Yes, the West Coast.
The
West Coast, but originally she a Miami. She's Miami Dade, baby, Miami Dade for life. But yeah, folks. Yes, sir. Yes. But as of Chaos Culture Radio,
we are out. Peace.